Hi angels, welcome back to another video. My name is Amira and I teach women how to use femininity and queen consciousness to level up in their lives. In today's video, I want to discuss with you how you can leave a toxic relationship. If you are in a relationship and it is emotionally abusive or toxic in any way, I'm going to give you practical tips that you can use to get out of that relationship safely. Okay, so the first step I have for you is to make a list of all the reasons why you want to leave. This is important because you need to know why you want to leave before you leave if you want it to be a sustainable thing. Otherwise, you're just going to keep running back into that relationship. You're going to be tied to that relationship. You're not going to be leaving for the right reasons. So make a list of all the reasons why you want to leave. This will also give you clarity. It will give you a mindset in which you can clearly distinguish that the relationship you are in is not a healthy one, and it will give you the necessary motivation to move on to the next steps. Another important thing to consider if you are leaving a toxic relationship, especially if it is an abusive relationship, is to make sure that you cover your tracks. For my ladies out there watching that are in abusive relationships, you know that if anything were to be left out in the open, if anything were to be found out by your abusive partner, things are not going to end well. So I would suggest that you really take the time to cover your tracks. And if you are doing anything on the internet, if you are looking for any information on the internet, make sure that you remove or delete your search history. Delete anything, hide all paperwork, hide things you write down. Don't leave anything out in the open for your partner to find or anyone else to find. That tip I have for you is get your finances in order. This is extremely important because for you to be out on your own and to be able to stand on your own feet, you need to have financial security. When you are in an abusive relationship or manipulative relationship, you don't always have full control over your finances. In some cases, you are a stay-at-home mother, or you don't have a job of your own, you stay at home, you are dependent financially on your partner. So make sure you get your finances in order. If that means starting a side income business that can bring you in some money, if that means getting money from family and putting it away, if it means selling something and putting that money aside, whatever it means, for you to get your finances in order, get enough money together that you can at least be sustainable for 2 to 3 months on your own. The next tip I have for you, if you have any children or if there's children involved, make sure that you keep the important things, documentations, birth certificates, medical records, everything you need for them, any important information of this, keep it safe. If you can, put everything together, your important information, their important information, keep it in a place no one can find it, nobody knows where it is, or give it to somebody that you trust with your life to keep it for you until a future date when you will require it from him or her. The next tip I have for you is make a list of all the important things you need to take with you. Bear in mind, if you're going to be leaving on a very short spur of the moment type of thing, you need to keep your things ready so that you don't forget anything important, because you will not be going back to your abusive partner or to your abusive household or whatever it is, the toxic environment. So make sure you make a list of everything you need to take with you, such as clothing, important information and documentation, and toiletries for the children, whatever it is that you feel is important for you, money, whatever you feel is important, you need to take with you. Make a list of those things and put it aside if you can. The next thing that you need to do is find a place where you are going to be staying temporarily, if it is with somebody else or if it is in a guest house or temporary accommodation. Make sure you know where you will be staying and for how long. So if you are needing to, again, if you are going to be using the internet to find information, if you are going to be using a cell phone to make phone calls, make sure you delete those phone calls. Make sure you delete your search history. Anything that you write down, keep it in a safe place where no one can find it. The next tip I have for you is to speak to your friends and family or anyone close to you. When you are in an abusive relationship or toxic relationship, you know that your family and friends over time have been isolated from you, so you do not have relationships with them any longer. If you still have relationships with friends and family, now is the time for you to speak to them, let them know what is going on, tell them that you are planning to leave this relationship and you will appreciate any support that they can give you. If you do not have relationships with any friends or family, reach out to those that are very close to you. Apologize for being distant or being isolated from them. Explain to them why it was so, and then tell them that you are planning on leaving this relationship and you will appreciate their support. If they choose not to support you and not to get involved, that is fine, but there will be the odd case where one or two of them might want to assist and help you, and this will be very helpful to you when you are going to be in that space of transition, moving out. Maybe you need some money, maybe you need a place to stay. They will be able to assist you. The next step I have for you is plan a date and time on when you are going to leave. You are not going to leave until you have a final date and time set in place. Okay, so if that means you need to pay in advance and to your accommodation where you are going to be staying, then do that. If you need to call ahead for an Uber, a taxi, whatever it is, arrange transportation in advance, then do that. Whatever it gets you to commit to the date and time that you have set to move out. The next step I have for you is to pack your things silently and bit by bit. So I mean this by if you're going to take everything all at once and put it aside, it's going to be noticeable if half your cupboard space is empty. Okay, so every single day, maybe pack away one or two things. As things come out of the laundry, put aside what you are going to be taking with. You are also going to have to make sacrifices. You cannot take everything with you unless you're in a position where you will be alone for that period of time where you can pack everything and leave at the same time. But if you are not in that situation and you are needing to pack slowly and make it not as visible or as obvious that you are leaving, then pack slowly and silently. Perhaps give a few things to somebody trustworthy for you to keep, or hide things in and around your household where you can find them when you need to leave. Or pack a bag, keep that bag ready somewhere in your garage, under your bed, wherever no one else is going to look, and then keep that bag for when you are going to be leaving. The next step I have for you, if there is physical abuse involved in your relationship and you really need assistance in terms of escaping the abuse and escaping this toxic environment, relationship and dynamic, you need to contact the authorities to help you. So you need to contact the police if you can. They will come and escort you out of your home and take you to a safe place. You should arrange your own place where you will be going. If not, they will just take you to a shelter or some kind of government facility where they house people that are leaving abusive situations. So I would suggest that you find your own accommodation, you find your own place where you are going to stay, especially if you have children, and then contact the police once you are ready for them to come and fetch you at your home and escort you away from the situation, especially if you are in a physically abusive situation. If you are not going to be able to use the phone at that moment to make a call, you can also text them. Find out from your local police station how it works, if you can text them or if you can get somebody else to call on your behalf. But whatever you do, again, please cover your tracks. You don't want your abusive partner finding out what you are planning, because you will end up being abused for that. The next tip I have for you is keep evidence of all the abuse that you have endured over that period of time. So if that means taking pictures of yourself, if you are bruised or beaten up, videos if you can, showing images and specifics of the abuse. I know this is a difficult one, but it is very necessary, especially in the future when you are perhaps trying to get a protection order against such a person or a restraining order against them. Having proof is very important, and it will help you a lot. Even if there are kids involved, and if the kids are also in the abusive situation, you really want to protect your kids and put them first. So make sure that you keep evidence of all of the abuse taking place. Next tip I have for you is to change your contact details. So that goes for your phone number, your email address, your social media. Any way somebody can contact you, change your number. if you can. If you cannot go no contact with that person, then at least change most of your things and have only one way of contact, whether that be via phone call or via email or via text message, whatever that mode or medium of contact is. Just keep it to one mode of contact. The next tip I have for you is to keep off social media. You don't want to be posting to social media any of your plans, anything that you want to do, anything that is going on. Keep everything private and off social media. And that goes for after you've left as well. Do not post anything about your situation, about the abuse, about the transition, about the moving out, about the assistance you've been getting. Nothing needs to be on social media. Everything needs to be private. If you discuss it with someone, keep it to the one person that you are perhaps staying with, the one person you need to share with because you need their assistance. But other than that, it's nobody's business, and you need to keep this as quiet as possible, especially for the healing process to begin. The less people who know about your ins and outs of the situation, the better. The next tip I have for you, to change all the passwords of your emails, your social media, your banking accounts, everything that your partner had access to before. Make sure you change it. If you had apps on your phone which you use to track your banking and so on, make sure you change it. Your social media, your emails, everything. You don't know if they have your email, if they have your passwords in any case. So make sure that you change it and that you don't tell anybody what these passwords are. You don't at a later stage want to find that you are locked out of your banking system when you need access to money, or you don't want to find that you are locked out of your emails if you need important information there. So please make sure you change all the emails, the passwords to your emails, your social media, your banking accounts, and everything else that is of sensitive information and privacy. Make sure that you change the passwords. The next tip I have for you is to go no contact if possible. If you have kids, it's a bit difficult to do that, but I would suggest that you go no contact once you have left the situation. That means no phone calls, no texting, no DMing, nothing. No contact whatsoever. And this should be forever, okay? So if you can change your phone numbers, change your emails, change everything, then do that. Otherwise, block them off social media and make sure that you don't contact them, because once you contact them, especially if you're dealing with a narcissistic person, they will hoover you, they will grab you back in their clutches, they will use many different tactics, they will gaslight you, they will love bomb you, they will do anything to get you back into that relationship and that toxic dynamic. And once you do, you'll never be able to break out again. Or perhaps you will, but it will be a lot more difficult this time. You might suffer more physical abuse, more mental abuse. You might not have the resources, you might not have the trust of the people who've helped you previously. So please be mindful of that. The next tip I have for you is to start your recovery process. Recovering as soon as possible is important, because we spend so much time in that toxic relationship wasting away, and we waste away at our minds, at our bodies. Everything has changed when you look back. Perhaps you are unhealthy, perhaps you've not been paying attention to your career and your finances, perhaps you've let yourself go in terms of your fitness, of your health, perhaps there are other things going on that you would like to address in your life. You need to start your recovery process. The sooner you get going with that, the better for you, and the sooner you will start to get your life back on track. I have another video about how you can recover from narcissistic abuse and recover from being in a toxic relationship. So I will link that in the description below, and you can watch that after this video. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video was helpful for you. If you need to contact me for all the ladies who are struggling with leaving a toxic relationship, if there's any questions you have for me, you can contact me via email. This topic is this is the topic that I'm very passionate about, and I really want to help as many women as I can to leave toxic relationships if they are being abused or if they feel trapped in these dynamics. Please contact me via email. My email is in the description below, and I will help you as best as I can to guide you out through this process and to be a pillar of support if you don't have any of your own. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.